Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Meadsy69 and welcome back to another top 5 episode. Now, what we're going to do with this top 5 episode is we're going to have a top 5 episode for the next 4 weeks, one every week. And what we've decided to do is look at the best performing tanks in the game. So this top 5 episode is the top 5 best performing tanks in the game, and we have only done from tier 5 to tier 10, because if you do anything lower, the tier 4s, tier 3s, tier 2, tier 1s are literally like 60-70% win, and they would literally all win. So let's get started. Number 5 is the Progetto, 57.9% or whatever it was. I just missed that. And this is probably why it's getting a buff. Getting a nerf, because it is really performing well in the battle. And if I'm honest, it's not just the Progetto. Most of the auto reloading tanks are actually doing really, really well. And we do actually have another auto reloader in this top 5. So Progetto is very nice. It's the Italian tier 10 tank, and it really puts people off because of the auto reloader. They don't know if you're reloading your shell. Some people don't even know it's an auto reloader, so they wait for you to shoot 3 shells and then they start pushing, and lo and behold, by the time they've pushed, you have another shell loaded. So it doesn't surprise me that this is doing really, really well. I'm enjoying the tank. I do like the tank. I don't think it's the best tank in the line. I do think the standard B and maybe even the Pantera in tier 8 is very, very strong. However, the Pantera is not in this list. It's doing quite well. I'm not sure how well, but it's doing okay. So the Progetto is our number 5, the 5th most, and we're going by win rate here. We're not going by damage or anything like that. We're going by just win rate alone. So coming in at number 4 is the VK3601H, and it's sitting at 58.10% average win rate for the last 90 days. Remember, this is not all time. This is only for the last 90 days. And as we know, within the last 90 days, this has been buffed, and it's now probably one of the strongest tier 6s in the game with the armor. So I'm really not surprised that this is in the top 5 at all. Very strong tank, very fun tank to play, and you can get so many bounces. I mean, this battle here, we've already bounced 820 within a minute of the game. So we've bounced the hit points, that more than enough hit points than we got left. So if we wouldn't have bounced them, we would have already been dead a long time ago. So the VK36 is the tier 6 German heavy tank. It got buffed with the Tiger 2, the front armor of the tank. And so when you come up against tier 5, people that don't really know how to deal with it, you are just going to have so much fun. And I call this now the new seal clubbing tank. Even though it's tier 6, is tier 6 really seal clubbing? It can be. You're up against tier 5s, and if you watch my free to play series, I got a tier 6 within the first 50-60 battles. So it kind of can be included as a seal clubbing tank, and it's such an amazing tank to play at the moment. Whether or not it will get nerfed in the near future, we will wait and see. So that is number 4 in the all-time, or the last 30 days win rate for that tank. Coming in at number 3 is the standard B. I did say there was another auto loader in this, and it's 58.18% win rate for the last 90 days, and I'm not surprised. I thought actually it could be a bit more, but a lot of the noobish players, a lot of players that are not so skilled, don't seem to do that well in this tank because of the armor wise. It's got no armor. It's like a Leopard 1. I do have a video coming out on this tank. If it's not already released, it might be released depending on when I release this video. So the standard B, again, just like the Progetto, is a Italian tier 9. It is the auto reloader, and me personally, this is my favorite tank in the entire line. It's just absolutely amazing, amazing fun to play with that auto reloading system. Amazing speed, okay gun depression. It's just an all-round really nice tank to play. And of course, it's not just because it's doing really well performance-wise, number 3 in the all-time list. It doesn't mean it's, I mean, I'm going to say it's OP. I don't think it's OP. It's strong. And it did probably deserve a little nerf, but it only has a little nerf. I mean, only the accuracy has been nerfed. So for me, I don't think it will affect it that much because I don't play that often from long range. I like to be up fighting up close and personal, and this battle here we are going to show that. I mean, the HE on this thing is just truly amazing, and just like the other auto reloaders, you need to choose and pick when you are going to shoot your shots, and whether you want to reload, whether you're just going to shoot a target if you've only got 1 shell or 2 shells. And for me, that all depends on what's available. You can't, people always say make sure you always reload all 3 shells. No, don't. If you've got shots, take the shots. And if you've got like 2 shells reloaded and you're like almost 2 seconds away from reloading that 3rd shell, then yes, it could be worth to reload. But it all depends on what is available. Sorry, my microphone's just come off. So it all depends what's available to you. If there's any shots, if there's not shots, if there's no shots, then yes, try and reload the full clip. If you've got shots, even if you only have 1 shell in your clip, then just shoot it. Just shoot it. Because that shot might not be available in the next 2 or 3 seconds. So you got to keep that in mind. So this battle, we haven't done an awful lot. We haven't done, I mean, we're going to finish on 3.5k damage. But we were spotting for our team. And we did get some assistant damage, and we are going to end that battle on a mastery badge. And I was quite surprised actually, because I do think that's pretty low for an ace, but we do get the scout or the patrol duty, sorry, and we do 1456 XP, which is pretty decent in tier 9, and we do 2,300 assistant damage. Coming in at number 2, again, this is no surprise, at 58.27% win rate in the last 90 days. It is the Foch 155, and again, I thought this would actually be at number 1. I thought this would be number 1 because it's literally, it's broke. The tank is broke. Wargaming are changing it in the next update with the lower alpha gun and less reload, but I don't think that should be what I think that they should have done. Is make it the lower alpha, which they're doing, 560 alpha, but keep the reload the same. I mean, it's getting a 2-second reload buff, sorry, and I think they should have just kept the reload. It was broke, so they are changing it, but they're not really nerfing it, or they're not buffing it. It's going to be very the same. That the DPM wise, I think it's about 100 less than it is now when they do change it. So you can say it's a little nerf. You can say it's a little nerf because it is getting a little bit less DPM. But it's still going to be a great tank. It's still going to be a fantastic tank. Instead of 640, you're dealing 560. And your intra clip still stays the same. So 560, 7 seconds later, another 560 damage. So it's still going to be very strong. And I can see this tank still being in the top 5 after the gun has been changed. So this, I said a while ago that the Waffle is probably the most, the tank that I receive replays from the most. And if I'm honest, this has probably overtook that now. I get Foch replays left, right, and centre, like we're going to see from Wolfstein here, and he's going to actually play fantastic. He's alone against 3. He takes out the STB. He really needs to take out Space Dog there in the 121B. Good guy, Space Dog. He definitely needs to take him out, but if he's risking it here. He was willing to take a shot there to take out a good player, and it's now going to leave him and a full hit point E100. He is a one shot though, so he has to get a bounce, and that is the thing that you can do in this tank. You can get reliable bounces. The speed's good, you can ram, just every single thing about this tank is just amazing. So I was surprised that it's not getting a bigger nerf, but I wasn't surprised that it was number 2. I was actually thinking it was going to be number 1, but number 1 is another tank that's just recently been buffed, and it's been buffed literally. It's almost broke, and you're probably not actually going to guess. Can you guys guess what is going to be number 1 whilst we watch him, Wolfstein, take out this E100? He's on 6,900 damage. All he's going to need is 1 shot, but the E100 is reloaded. He's just reloaded. He needs to get that shot off, and again he's going to go forward, go back, and the E100 misses his shot. So all he needs to do now is just come around the corner and hit him in the face. 7,500 damage, and I get these replays all the time, literally over. It's probably the most OP replay tank that I've shown on channel, over 8,000 damage quite often. But so that is number 2. That is number 2. Coming in at number 1, can you guess? It is the T1 Heavy, the only tank in the entire list that is above an average of 60%. It is 60.01%, the best performing tank by win rate over the last 90 days, and it got an armor buff a couple of updates ago, and so many people have been telling me you need to play the T1 Heavy, and I'm meaning to. I do need to, but I've had so many videos to get out. I just haven't had time to go and play this tank. So I will do it. I will be doing a review on this tank again, just to see how good it is now. But the T1 Heavy is the best performing tank in the entire game. Obviously, there is lower tiers. There's lower tiers, but who cares about tier 4, 3, 2, 1? No one cares. Like, of course you're going to get the cruisers and the Stuarts that are just seal clubbing dreams, that people just go and seal club for win rate. I'm not including them because it's just stupid to include them. So tier 5 and above, I think was kind of justifiable into performance wise. You can argue that even tier 5 shouldn't be on here, or maybe even tier 6, but I just thought, you know, it was a different mix. It wasn't full of tier 5s. There was only 1 tier 5. I do like what Wargaming have done, actually, in making this tank so strong. For so many years, it's been tier 5, the K1 Heavy. The KV1, sorry. The KV1 was the beast in tier 5. They nerfed the KV1, and they've made this the beast. And I love this tank. I really do love this tank, even before the buff. It's quick, it's big, it's well armored, and as you can see, it is just an absolute machine. So that is it, guys. That is the top 5 best performing tank. That is actually the best performing tech tree tanks in the game. Next week we will have the best 5 performing premium tanks, and then so on, and then the worst performing, etc, etc. Hope you enjoyed it, guys. I'm Meadsy, and I'll catch you soon.